Another thing that I'd like for you to do is really come up with a plan of what that family time looks like. Let me go back to that first scenario with husbands and wives, single men and women meeting together on a nightly or once a week on a Tuesday night or whatever the night may be. You come together, you have your discussion time. It would be ideal that you would break up into guys and girls on occasion and be able to let them share their hearts, or be able to foster time outside the group and say, hey guys, we really want to foster community in this group, so I'd encourage you in groups of 2 or 3 ladies and groups of 2 or 3 men to meet every week or every 2 weeks, or maybe it's less formal than that, but just something to be able to get people in each other's lives so people are exploring hearts, listening, praying for each other, because that's a very needed part of community. So I'd encourage you big time to do that. Come up with a plan for that. And we also want to talk about care. Our greatest means of care is within the group structure. We have people that can sneak in on Sundays and kind of hide, listen to a sermon, and just kind of slip out. But within group life context, we don't want anyone to be able to hide. We want for when situations come up, troubles in a marriage, a single guy or girl walking through an addiction, or all sorts of other things. We want you as the group leader not to be able just to solve everyone's problems, but to be able to step in with pastors, with group leaders, with all sorts of people surrounding them, and love them and bring that stuff, the gospel to bear in their lives. And so we want you to be willing to be able to care, and we desire to equip you to do that if you feel ill-equipped, and to know those situations as well so we can pray and be involved. It's one of the most encouraging things that I see on a weekly basis is when struggles come up within our body, that groups surround the people, they jump right into the muck and the mire with them, and they start wading through. And to me, that is one of the biggest signs that God is at work within our body, and it's an amazing thing. And then finally, you have all these different contexts. We want family aspects. We want you to be able to serve together, serve each other, but the main thing will be learning together. But we want you to be able to say, if I'm doing a group that's 12 weeks long or 25 weeks long, or maybe throughout the whole year, that whenever your group comes to completion, if it is a group that will end, that you will be able to say, I want my people to be able to take the next steps. We don't want people to step for 12 weeks into a learning group and then say, well, I've done that learning group, I'm just going to step away from community for a year. So you as a leader we're putting the obligation on you to say, Johnny, group is over. What is your next step, and how can I help you find another group? And a lot of people are just going to filter right into community groups right after learning groups end, if that's the only means of group life that they have. But we want you to challenge people. You can't make anybody do anything, but we want you to lead them to the water and say, here's the next step for you, or let me help you figure out that next step for community. And I think that's going to be a very important thing if learning groups are going to be successful within our context here. So the steps basically as we go are to fill out a leadership form. I can email you that. I said in a previous video, my email is clewis@sojournchurch.com. It's just CLEWIS@sojournchurch.com. It's just a one-page form giving you information, giving me information about your name, some contact information, what you want to study, and how long your study may last, and then some of the things that I'm asking people to be willing to do for that. And then to watch this learner group orientation video, and hopefully, unless you've fallen asleep by now, you've watched all the way up to this point. And then finally, have a meeting with me, and we'll sit and we'll talk. It can be informal on Sunday, just grabbing 10 minutes to talk. And for some of you, if I don't know you very well, I may pull you in and us talk more extensively about a plan for your learner group, and some of these things, having a plan for family time and different things like that within your group. So those are kind of the 3 steps, and then we'll launch you out. We'll give you some press and just talk about a plan on how to get the word out there that your group exists. We'd like for you to be willing to recruit people for your group. So one of the best ways to get people in your group is to kind of listen up and say to some of your friends or people that you're in community with, that or people that aren't in a community group proper, to say, would you be willing to step into a group with me? What would you want to be studying? What's something that would really interest you? Or maybe some guys that work third shift that can't make it to a community group say, would you guys be willing to meet for breakfast with me once a week, once every 2 weeks, and study through this and do some hard accountability questions. And that's an amazing thing to be able to open up another doorway for people to be able to experience community. I'm going to end right now and invite you to ask me any questions as the weeks come up, but we're very, very excited about this. And learner groups, we want to be quick to say they're going to look a lot like our family groups, which are community groups, and it's just another avenue for us to be able to do community together here at Sojourn. So get in touch with me if you have any questions, and if God's laying this on your heart, I would encourage you not to say, well, next week or next month or whatever, we'll contact Chad. Go ahead and contact me so we can start talking, because we're seeing that there's a huge need to expand the definition of group life so we can get more people in group. Thanks for watching, and God bless.